In today's video, we explore 23 Hawaiian Airlines interview questions you will be asked during your interview. Each answer can be customized to highlight your unique qualifications and experiences. Before your interview, it's important to research the company and review the job description so you can incorporate key skills relevant to the job role in your answers. Question number 1. Why should Hawaiian Airlines hire you? This is your opportunity to connect your skills and personality directly to the airline's brand and mission. Focus on what makes you a standout candidate, especially qualities that reflect Hawaiian Airlines values like hospitality, cultural respect, safety, and teamwork. Hawaiian Airlines should hire me because I bring a strong combination of calm under pressure, genuine hospitality, and a deep respect for Hawaiian values. I've worked in high-paced customer-facing roles for over 5 years, where I learned how to meet people where they are, whether they're anxious, excited, or frustrated, and help them feel seen and supported. I'm someone who anticipates needs before they're spoken and takes pride in small gestures that make a big difference. Beyond technical ability, what truly drives me is creating moments of comfort and care that leave a lasting impression. Hawaiian Airlines represents more than travel. It represents home, family, and aloha. I believe I can help carry that spirit into the skies with sincerity and heart. Question number 2. Why do you want to become a flight attendant? Focus on your passion for service, love of travel, and your desire to care for others while maintaining safety. Avoid generic responses like, "I want to travel." Make it personal and connect it to what flight attendants truly do. I want to become a flight attendant because it combines everything I value: caring for others, being part of a close-knit team, and exploring the world with purpose. I've always found joy in helping people feel comfortable and cared for, even in stressful or unfamiliar settings. There's something incredibly fulfilling about being someone passengers can rely on, whether it's for safety, support, or just a warm smile. With Hawaiian Airlines, it's not just about serving snacks or giving safety briefings. It's about representing aloha in every interaction. I want to be part of that experience, uplifting people's journeys and making even long flights feel welcoming and memorable. Question number 3. How would you describe malama and why is it important? Define malama clearly and tie it to your personal or professional experience. Emphasize why this value matters, not just in Hawaiian culture, but in customer service and the flight attendant role specifically. Malama means to care for, protect, and show genuine concern for the well-being of others. It's not just a word, it's a way of being. In the context of Hawaiian Airlines, malama reminds us that every passenger isn't just a seat number. They're someone's family member, someone's story, someone in need of care. It's important because it's the foundation of trust, respect, and exceptional service. Whether it's offering extra comfort to a nervous flyer or stepping in to help a teammate during a busy flight, malama ensures that we're looking out for each other, not because we have to, but because we want to. Question number 4. How have you used malama? Choose a specific moment where you showed genuine care and protection for someone, even if it wasn't part of your job. Explain how you prioritized someone else's well-being with action, empathy, or sacrifice. One example that comes to mind was during a long shift at a restaurant when an elderly guest came in alone and looked visibly overwhelmed. She had dietary restrictions and trouble reading the QR menu. I could have just taken her order, but instead I sat beside her for a few minutes, helped her understand her options, and chatted briefly to ease her nerves. Later she thanked me with tears in her eyes and said, "You made me feel like I wasn't invisible." That moment stayed with me. I wasn't just doing a task, I was practicing malama. I was protecting her dignity and making her feel safe. That's the kind of care I bring to every role. Question number 5. Give an example of how you used lokahi. Lokahi means unity and working together in harmony. Your example should demonstrate how you collaborated with others to solve a problem, overcome tension, or accomplish a shared goal through teamwork. At one of my previous jobs, 2 coworkers weren't getting along during a big holiday rush. The tension was affecting our entire shift. I stepped in and invited both of them to take a short breather with me in the back. I said, "We don't have to be best friends, but we're a team, and right now, our guests need us at our best." That short moment shifted the energy. We divided responsibilities based on strengths and communicated more clearly. The shift turned out to be one of our smoothest. That experience reminded me that lokahi isn't just about cooperation, it's about putting ego aside for the good of the group. In the air, that kind of unity is vital to keeping everyone safe and service flowing. Question number 6. Give an example of a time when you used ho'okipa, hospitality. Ho'okipa is about treating guests with genuine warmth and generosity. Think of a time you made someone feel truly welcomed or went beyond to improve their experience. Show sincerity and emotional connection. During the pandemic, a couple visited our restaurant but seemed frustrated by the new rules, digital menus, vaccination checks, etc. The husband mentioned, "We're not good with tech, this is overwhelming." I immediately saw their stress and stepped in to practice ho'okipa. I got them printed menus, walked them through the process patiently, and even helped them fill out the online form so they could relax and enjoy their meal. They later thanked me and said it was the first time in weeks they felt like someone truly cared. To me, that's the heart of hospitality, not just providing a service, but making people feel respected, understood, and cared for. That's exactly the kind of warmth I'd bring to every flight with Hawaiian Airlines. Question number 7. How would you address a child kicking the seat of a passenger in front of them? Hiring managers ask this to see how you handle minor but sensitive in-flight issues involving multiple parties. You're expected to demonstrate emotional intelligence, tact, and the ability to de-escalate a situation without upsetting anyone, especially when children are involved. Your goal is to show that you can calmly manage passenger expectations while upholding the airline's commitment to comfort and service. If I noticed a child repeatedly kicking the seat in front of them, I would first assess the situation to ensure it wasn't a safety concern. Then, I'd approach the parent calmly and respectfully, perhaps crouching to their level to create a more personal connection. I'd say something like, "Hi there, I just wanted to let you know that your little one has been kicking the seat in front of them, and it's becoming uncomfortable for the guest. I completely understand it can be hard during a flight. Would you mind helping them settle down?" Most parents appreciate the heads up when it's given without judgment. If needed, I'd offer the child an age-appropriate distraction like a coloring sheet or snack if available. I'd also check in with the passenger who was affected to ensure they felt heard and assure them we're doing our best to resolve it. My goal would be to create a peaceful and respectful environment for everyone on board without making anyone feel embarrassed. Question number 8. A passenger is smoking an e-cigarette on the plane. What do you do? This question tests your knowledge of FAA regulations and your ability to enforce rules calmly and confidently. They want to know that you understand how to prioritize safety while remaining professional and non-confrontational. Your response should show that you can stand firm when needed, but always lead with respect. If I noticed a passenger vaping or smoking an e-cigarette, I'd approach them discreetly, ideally when other passengers aren't watching, to avoid any embarrassment. I'd speak calmly and say something like, "Excuse me, I know it's easy to forget, but all smoking and vaping is prohibited on board for everyone's safety. I appreciate your understanding." If they comply, I would thank them and continue with my duties. If the passenger refused or challenged the rule, I'd explain that it's a federal regulation and not just a company policy, and then notify the lead flight attendant or captain as per our protocol. I'd make a note of the incident in the flight report. My approach would always be calm and non-judgmental because I believe people respond better when they feel respected. Still, I understand that safety and compliance are non-negotiable, and I wouldn't hesitate to escalate appropriately if needed. Question number 9. There is a couple with a crying baby, and the passengers around them are annoyed. What do you do? This question evaluates your empathy, patience, and multitasking skills. You need to show you can comfort stressed parents while also addressing the frustrations of nearby passengers, all without taking sides. Hawaiian Airlines looks for people who embody the spirit of aloha, and this is your chance to demonstrate grace under pressure. In this situation, I would first approach the parents with kindness and empathy, asking something like, "Is there anything I can get you or your baby to help comfort them?" Often, parents feel overwhelmed and judged, so just showing support can go a long way. I'd offer a warm towel or bottle heating if needed, or see if a soft toy or distraction could help. After checking in with them, I'd speak with the nearby passengers who seem annoyed. I'd acknowledge the discomfort by saying, "Thank you for your patience. We're assisting the family now and doing everything we can to settle the baby." If any open seats are available, I'd discreetly offer a move or provide earplugs or complimentary headphones. I believe in holding space for both groups without assigning blame. Traveling can be stressful for everyone, especially families with infants. My goal would be to de-escalate tension and bring warmth and understanding to both sides. Before we continue, I just want to take a moment to thank you for watching this video. You can download a copy of these interview questions and answers in PDF format by clicking on the link below and supporting my channel by making a minimum donation of $3. Your support allows me to keep creating valuable content to help you pass your interview and land your dream job. Thanks for your support and appreciation. Question number 10. A passenger brought their own food on the plane. Another customer is complaining about the bad odor. What do you do? This question is about cultural awareness and your ability to navigate personal discomfort in a diverse setting. Your answer should reflect diplomacy, tact, and respect for all passengers. Hawaiian Airlines serves guests from many backgrounds, so your response should embody sensitivity and inclusion. I'd begin by discreetly checking in with the passenger who brought the food. I'd say something like, "Hi there, I hope you're enjoying your meal. I wanted to mention that another guest nearby is having a bit of a sensitivity to the smell. Would it be okay if we resealed or adjusted it slightly?" Most people are surprisingly cooperative when approached with warmth and privacy. I'd provide an air sickness bag or another container if needed to minimize the smell. Then I'd return to the guest who complained and thank them for their patience, letting them know we've addressed the issue. If they were still uncomfortable, I'd offer a scented towel or fresh air with a portable fan, or check seat availability if a move was possible. My goal would be to protect everyone's dignity while resolving the issue calmly. It's about creating a cabin culture that embraces diversity while maintaining comfort. Question number 11. Tell us about a time where you had to resolve a problem with a customer. What was the final outcome? Choose a story that highlights your communication and problem-solving skills. Use the STAR method, situation, task, action, result, to structure your response and emphasize how your solution improved the customer's experience. At my last job in a busy restaurant, a customer became upset when their food arrived cold and not as ordered. The dining room was packed and tensions were running high. I listened attentively and apologized sincerely, saying, "I completely understand your frustration, and I'd be upset too if I were in your shoes." I immediately took the plate back and ensured the kitchen remade the order correctly, then brought out a complimentary appetizer to make up for the wait. I also checked in frequently while they waited to show we truly cared. By the end of the meal, the guest told me it had turned into one of the best dining experiences they'd had, not because it was perfect, but because we took ownership and showed heart. That moment reminded me that customer service isn't about avoiding problems, it's about how you fix them when they arise. Question number 12. When was a time you exceeded in customer service that would apply especially to Hawaiian Airlines? Pick a story that reflects the values Hawaiian Airlines embraces: hospitality, empathy, and a strong sense of aloha. Show how you went beyond what's expected to make someone feel truly cared for. Focus on your initiative, kindness, and emotional connection with the customer. While working as a makeup artist for destination weddings, I once assisted a bride who had traveled to Hawaii to elope. On the morning of the ceremony, her dress tore while she was putting it on, and she was devastated. With no family around to help and no tailor nearby, she started to panic. I stayed calm, reassured her, and ran to the nearest ABC store to get a small sewing kit. I returned and carefully stitched her dress back together while keeping her emotionally grounded. The wedding planner and the bride were in tears, but this time from relief. She later said I had saved her special day. That moment taught me how small acts of service can make a massive impact. It's exactly the kind of care and calm presence I'd bring as a Hawaiian Airlines flight attendant, especially when guests are away from home and need a reassuring presence. Question number 13. You did something at work that made someone upset. How did you correct it? Show maturity by admitting your mistake without over-explaining. Focus on your response, how you took responsibility, made amends, and learn from the experience. Highlight emotional intelligence and humility. At a previous job, I unintentionally scheduled two coworkers for overlapping tasks, which caused confusion and made one of them feel disregarded. When I realized they were upset, I approached them privately and said, "I understand this may have felt unfair. That wasn't my intention, and I take full responsibility for the mix-up." I then rearranged the schedule to ensure equal workloads and followed up later to ask if they were feeling better about the situation. I also thanked them for their patience and made a mental note to double-check future assignments with more attention to fairness. They appreciated the sincerity, and we worked even more smoothly afterward. I believe that resolving tension through honesty and open dialogue builds stronger teams, and I always strive to be someone others can count on to make things right. Question number 14. Someone wants more than one. Complimentary snack. What would you do? This question gauges your ability to enforce policies kindly while offering great service. Show that you understand rules but are also solution-oriented. Emphasize communication and knowing how to read the situation. I'd start by politely explaining the policy, saying something like, "Our standard service includes one complimentary snack per guest to ensure we have enough for everyone on board." I'd watch their reaction. If they seemed truly hungry or maybe didn't get enough during the last meal, I'd check with the lead flight attendant to see if we had extras. If inventory allowed, I'd be happy to offer another snack or suggest alternatives. It's about using good judgment, balancing fairness with empathy. Sometimes that extra gesture, just checking on their comfort, means more than the snack itself. And if I couldn't provide a second, I'd be sure to explain it kindly and follow up with a warm beverage or just some friendly conversation to show they're not being ignored. Question number 15. There is a passenger on the plane who has been sticking his legs out in the aisle, nearly tripping people. How would you approach them? This question is about your ability to maintain safety and courtesy. Interviewers want to see that you can correct behavior in a non-confrontational way that preserves the passenger's dignity while protecting others. I would approach the passenger with a smile and calm tone and say something like, "Hi there, I just wanted to check in. Your legs have been extending into the aisle, and we've had a few near misses. I want to make sure everyone stays safe, including you, especially if a cart or someone walking by doesn't see your feet in time." By phrasing it as a safety concern instead of a complaint, I'm showing care rather than blame. If they had limited legroom or needed to stretch for medical reasons, I'd explore options, like changing seats if space allows or helping them stretch safely during cabin walks. I want the passenger to feel respected, not embarrassed, while also making sure no one else gets hurt. It's all about clear communication and treating every guest like they're part of our ohana. Question number 16. How would you deal with a passenger who has anxiety on a plane due to turbulence? This question tests your empathy, observation skills, and ability to calm a nervous flyer. Interviewers want to see if you can be comforting, calm, and helpful when someone's struggling mentally or emotionally in flight. If I noticed a passenger showing signs of anxiety, gripping the armrest, rapid breathing, or looking uneasy, I'd gently check in and ask, "Is everything okay? Would you like some water or something to distract you?" I'd speak in a calm, low tone and reassure them that turbulence is common and the aircraft is designed to handle it safely. I might engage them in a light conversation or offer them something simple like a magazine, warm towel, or snack to take their mind off the moment. If they wanted privacy, I'd quietly check in later to make sure they're still feeling okay. I know flying can be nerve-wracking for some, and even small gestures, like just sitting near them for a minute, can be incredibly grounding. For me, showing empathy during stressful moments is a big part of living the aloha spirit in the sky. Question number 17. There is a disruptive passenger slamming overhead bins while others are sleeping. How do you address the guest? This question focuses on conflict de-escalation and setting the tone for respectful behavior on board. Show that you can remain calm and resolve the situation without embarrassment or confrontation. I would approach the passenger calmly and quietly, keeping my body language relaxed. I'd say something like, "Hi there, I just wanted to let you know that several guests are resting nearby. Would you mind closing the bins a little more gently so they can continue sleeping?" Most people don't realize how loud they're being, so addressing it kindly is often enough. If they seemed frustrated or stressed, I'd ask if they needed help finding something or if I could assist in any way. My goal would be to gently guide them without making it a scene. If the behavior continued or escalated, I'd involve the lead flight attendant and document the situation appropriately. But usually, a warm, respectful tone is the best way to diffuse tension. I believe the way we treat passengers, especially during moments like this, sets the tone for the whole flight. Question number 18. Tell us about an emergency situation you were involved in. How did you handle it? Choose a real emergency where your quick thinking, calm under pressure, and ability to help others was critical. Highlight how you took control or supported others while staying composed. Hawaiian Airlines wants to see you can manage urgent situations with empathy, clarity, and leadership. A few years ago, my younger brother dislocated his knee at home. I heard sudden screaming from the kitchen and found him on the floor, panicking. My mom was frozen with fear, and the situation quickly escalated emotionally. Despite my own panic, I took a deep breath and focused on calming my brother. I crouched next to him and said, "Ben, I need you to trust me. We're going to get through this." I reassured him, helped stabilize his leg, and coached him to slowly stand. Surprisingly, his knee popped back into place. Afterward, I immediately took him to the ER, where they confirmed the dislocation and gave him a brace. Looking back, it reminded me how powerful a calm, steady voice can be during chaos. In an in-flight emergency, I'd bring that same grounded energy, supporting others and taking action, even when emotions are high. Question number 19. Tell me about your most stressful moment at work. How did you handle it? Choose a situation where stress was high, but you stayed composed and used strong communication or prioritization skills to get through it. The goal is to show that you don't crumble under pressure and that you know how to keep your emotions in check while getting the job done. During a very busy dinner shift at the restaurant where I worked, we were unexpectedly short-staffed, and I was assigned far more tables than usual. Within minutes, I had multiple groups seated at once, all needing menus, drinks, and attention. I could feel the stress building, but instead of panicking, I quickly informed each table with a friendly smile. "I'm so happy to have you here. I'm a little stretched at the moment, but I'll be with you shortly. I truly appreciate your patience." That set the tone for mutual understanding. I focused on one task at a time, kept my communication upbeat, and leaned on teammates where I could. All of the guests were understanding, and several complimented me for how I handled the rush. That moment showed me the power of transparency and kindness under pressure, two things I know will be crucial when working with passengers in the air. Question number 20. How did you handle a situation where things did not go the way you wanted and your manager was not around? This question tests your independence and judgment. Share an example where you used common sense, stayed calm, and found a solution on your own. Show that you know when to act and how to take responsibility without needing constant supervision. Once while working in a restaurant, a guest was upset because their meal wasn't prepared the way they asked. My manager had stepped out for a break, so I took the initiative to solve it. I apologized sincerely, explained that I would have the dish remade immediately, and put the order through myself. To keep the guests comfortable during the wait, I offered them a complimentary drink and checked in with them every few minutes. After service, I informed my manager of everything that happened, including what steps I took. They thanked me for handling it professionally and said I made the right call. It reinforced the idea that good service doesn't require permission. It just requires judgment, respect, and a willingness to step up when needed. That's the mindset I'd bring on board as a flight attendant, taking initiative while always putting the guest's experience first. Question number 21. Tell me a time when you missed a flight and had a manager speak to you. What did you do? This question checks your accountability and how you handle consequences. If you've never missed a flight, be honest, but explain what you would do if you did. If you have, explain what went wrong, how you took responsibility, and what you changed moving forward. I've only missed a flight once, and it was entirely my fault. I underestimated traffic and got to the airport far too close to check-in cutoff. When I realized I wasn't going to make it, I called my manager immediately to inform them and took full accountability without making excuses. I apologized in person the next day, explained how it happened, and shared the changes I made, like setting earlier departure reminders and always building in a larger buffer. My manager appreciated my honesty and my commitment to preventing it from happening again. I take punctuality seriously, and I learned that being early isn't just a good habit, it's a sign of respect for the team and the operation. I've never had a repeat issue since, and I now treat time buffers as non-negotiable. Question number 22. Tell me about a time you made a mistake at work and how you resolved it. Be honest, but choose a mistake that wasn't catastrophic. Focus on how you took responsibility, corrected the issue, and learned from the experience. Interviewers ask this to see if you're self-aware and willing to grow, not to catch you doing something wrong. At a previous job, I once gave a guest incorrect information about a delivery timeline, thinking I was helping them plan better. I later realized I misunderstood the schedule and they ended up waiting longer than expected. When I found out, I immediately called the customer, sincerely apologized, and offered them a gift card to thank them for their patience. I also looped in my manager so we could look at how we communicate delivery updates and improve consistency. I felt terrible about it, but I learned how important it is to double-check details before speaking confidently and how owning up to a mistake can actually build trust. Since then, I've made it a habit to verify facts and clarify anything I'm unsure of before passing it along. Mistakes happen, but I believe what defines a professional is how quickly and humbly they make it right. And finally, here's the last question. Question number 23. Do you have any questions for me or for us? This is your chance to show genuine interest in the airline and the role. Ask thoughtful questions that go beyond pay or scheduling. Focus on culture, expectations, or growth. Ideally, tie them to Hawaiian Airlines' values or mission. Yes, I do. Thank you for asking. What qualities do you see in your most successful flight attendants here at Hawaiian Airlines? How does your team bring the spirit of aloha into challenging situations, like delays or difficult passengers? What kind of support or mentorship does Hawaiian Airlines provide for new hires as they transition into the role? Finally, what do you personally enjoy most about working for Hawaiian Airlines, and what has kept you here? I ask these questions because I truly want to understand what makes the Hawaiian Airlines team unique, not just in service, but in how you support each other. I'm excited about the opportunity to bring value and grow here. If you want to learn more on how to land jobs and reach your career goals, don't forget to hit that subscribe and bell notification button to get new videos every single week. Also, don't forget to hit that like button because that motivates me to keep doing what I do. Stay safe, keep smiling, and good luck.